Welcome to our last week of Tot Time. So hopefully you just listened to this week's story, which is how the wood thrush got his song. And this week's theme is hearing. Okay, so everything we hear with our ears. And in our story, we learned how all of the birds got their songs. And we learned about how the wood thrush, he flew up really, really high, but he hitchhiked on the back of a big bird, of the eagle. And the eagle thought he'd won, and he started to fly back down, and then the wood thrush jumped off and flew even higher, and he got the best song. And all the birds could hear his song. So just like we have hearing, the birds have hearing too. They have the sensory of hearing. They can hear each other's songs and speak to each other. And this week's craft, what we're going to do is we're going to make some sound. So the wood thrush got his song. He hid away too because he was so ashamed that he cheated. So remember, we don't want to cheat our way to get the things we want. We want to work really hard. And we're going to work really hard to make a wind chime. Okay, so a wind chime is what you hang outside, and there's different bells or chimes and different things on them to make a sound whenever it gets windy. So you leave it outside, the wind blows, and then it knocks everything around, and it makes a beautiful sound that we can hear with our sensory of hearing. So for this craft, what you need, versus something that's not in the bag, is a stick. So I would like you to go outside to your backyard or to a park, wherever you can, and try and find a stick on the ground. It doesn't have to be as big or small as you want. Remember to try and find it on the ground. I don't encourage you to pick it off of a live tree. We don't want to hurt those live trees. We want to keep them nice and healthy. So try and find a stick that's on the ground if you can, okay? So I have my stick that I found in my yard. And then inside of your kit, you have a small bag, which is labeled. It says Week 4 Craft Wind Chime. And there's a bunch of different things in here. And all of you have different bells, charms. You all have a bunch of different stuff, and I gave them out randomly, okay? So if you have something different than your sibling or somebody else doing the camp, I gave them out randomly, okay? And then inside here, there should be 4 pieces of fishing line, okay? You want to set one of them aside, so you can put that back in your bag or wherever you would like to hide it. We will use that at the end. So right now we're going to use the 3 pieces of fishing line. So I'm going to sit those down. And then inside of here, like I said, we have different bells, we have different gears and charms. And all these things, they make sound, especially the bells, they ring together, or whenever these pieces of metal hit, those are going to make sounds whenever the wind blows. So what we're going to do is attach all of our charms and bells to the fishing line, and we're going to put the fishing line on our stick at the end. So first, with your guardian's help, take one piece of fishing line and tie a knot at the bottom. You can make it, probably the bigger the better, that way all of your charms and everything don't fall off. I tied mine a few times, get it nice and tight. And then just look in your bag, and it doesn't matter what order you do this in. Just take your, I'm going to start with a bell. and there's a hoop at the top, and thread it through the top of the fishing line until it reaches the bottom, and your knot should hold it in place. And then you have two options. You can either keep putting a bunch of stuff in a row, so if I get another bell, I can put one down there so they hit each other, or with your guardian's help, you can put, I'm going to use a gear, you can bring it down, but don't bring it down the whole way. Leave it down so that it hovers, and then tie a knot around that object to keep it in place. So now it hangs there. So you do whatever you would like. If you want them to float in the air, or if you would just all like them to be jingling down at the bottom, it's up to you. So we're going to fill this up, and we're going to leave a little bit of space at the top. That way we can use the string to tie it around our stick whenever we're done. So we're just going to fill up our string as much as we want, and then remember we want to save some for our two other strings. So we're going to fill this up and fill up our second string as well. And do whatever order you would like. And there's a bunch of different cool things in here. There's different feathers and keys. There's different little charms and gears and bells. Some fun stuff. I'm on my second piece of string. I'm tying a big knot around the bottom so nothing falls off. I'm putting the bell on first. I got my clip key at the bottom. I'm just tying. Some of them I let them just sit on the knot. Some of them I dropped my turn. Some of them I'm tying around so they float. I dropped it again. on my third one now. I'm going to put these two feathers on at the same time. We want to make sure we get some sound whenever these are outside so that we can hear them clink together. Okay, I've got a couple left. Okay, now I have all my fishing lines filled up. Okay, so I have 3 fishing lines. You can hear them jingle now with all the little bells. Don't they sound nice? Okay, and now this is where we get our stick. So your stick doesn't have to be as big as mine. It can be a small stick. So one at a time, we're going to take the top of our fishing line and we're going to tie it around the stick. We tie it around a few times so that it's nice and tight and so it doesn't fall off. Okay, 3 times. I'll do one more just to be safe. If I can do it. Okay, so I tied it 4 times. So now, hanging onto my stick, then I'm going to repeat that with the other 2. You can put them as far away as you would like, but I would suggest maybe doing them a little bit closer so that they can hit each other whenever the wind comes. make sure to leave enough space at the top. I didn't leave a lot of space for this one, so it's a little harder to tie on. This one might take me a while because I didn't leave enough space at the top, so remember to keep enough space so you can tie it onto the stick easily. Two. Okay, so now I have my wind chimes. A couple of them slid together. Okay, now I have my wind chimes. Okay. And then we're going to get our final piece of fishing line. And we want to be able to hang this up outside. So you can make a loop however you would like. I'm going to fold in half first. So it's like this. Oh. I'm going to fold in half first. And pull it through the loop. Like that. And then just going to make, no they're not. So if you know a better way to make a loop, go ahead and do that. We just want to make sure that we're making a hook of some kind so that we can hang it outside. Okay, now I have my loop to hang it up. Mine's a little lopsided, so I'm going to try and break this off. Okay, now I have, oh, that's a little lopsided too. I mean, if you want it lopsided, that's okay. Okay, and now we have our wind chime. It's making all those different sounds. It's getting tangled up a little bit. It's a little windy right now outside. And we get to hear those sounds with our ears, with our sensory of hearing. Just like all those little birds can hear each other's songs, we can hear all the little sounds that come from this wind chime. And we used our stick from nature, and nature itself with the wind is going to make a beautiful sound for us. So go ahead and take your wind chime and hang it up outside wherever you can, and then you get to listen to it every time the wind pushes it. And remember to take pictures too and send them to us. Okay, and that's our craft for this week. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be our game.